Yes, guys. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Bootcast podcast. As you can see, we have all made it back. Colby, the prodigal son, you have returned. How was the North, my friend?
Dude, it was awesome. I was literally in the mountains of Montana, like up at Glacier National Park. It was awesome.
Did you see a bear?
It was like, what?
Did you see a bear?
No.
Oh.
My son swears he did, but I'm like, no, you didn't. Bro. You didn't see no bear. It was awesome, bro. It was cold. Cool. It was cold. We went up and up and up and up and up, and like by the time we got to like the little visitor center up there, bro, it was freezing.
How did the baby do?
Baby did great. 3-hour flight direct from DFW, so made it there and back. We were there all week for a wedding. Actually, my cousin got married.
Oh, cool!
And it was outdoors, mountains in the background. It's beautiful.
Perfect.
So it was awesome, dude. Great.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Matt, it's been a long week since I've seen your face. How are you doing,
I know.
sir?
I'm doing good. Technically off season for us, so had a nice relaxing week. Hung out with the friends and the girlfriend. So
heck yeah, enjoying that
can't
trophy.
complain. Enjoying that trophy, yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, today was my wife's birthday, so we went out to like this World Spring Spa thing, and it has like different jacuzzis at like different temperatures, and they're like different waters and stuff. It was a nice, relaxing day. So it's been a nice day. I'm very, very zen right now.
Nice. How long did you last in the cold plunge?
I got to my ankles and immediately got out.
Wow.
Dude, I went from, so the hottest jacuzzis are 103, and it's pretty warm in Texas, so I was in that for like 20 minutes, and then I got out, and I tried to go in the cold plunge, and it was just like too drastic, so it like burned, and then I was dumb and went back into the 103 jacuzzi, and that burned also.
Yeah.
But my wife, she went like all the way up to the waist, and she lasted in there for like 2 minutes. She's
damn, dude,
she's
tougher
tough.
than you.
Oh, yeah. She gave birth to our kids. She's way tougher than me. All right, well, let's get into this. It's going to be a rapid-fire episode tonight. News is kind of light this week. And, Colby, you have an interesting topic you want to talk about. So, let's start out with everyone's favorite brand.
Oh, God.
Puma has released yet another pack. Matt, we were pissed last week. We're annoyed. Colby, I'm sure you saw us. They did a blackout. Now they did the whiteout this week. They did the inline. Like, who cares? Like, can we just move on? Like, can I just? We got it out. There's another whiteout pack. There'll be another white. It's what month is it? July. I'm gonna say by September there's gonna be another whiteout pack.
Probably. Dude, at this point, like for
like,
boots, like the whiteout and the blackout packs. At this point, maybe just like don't do any marketing for them. Just like silently release them. If people want to buy them, they'll see them on the sites.
Yeah.
But like, oh my God, dude, I see Puma make a post. I don't think my brain actually takes that information anymore. I think it's like, we're just going to help you out here and just immediately erase this entire clip that you just visualized.
You know what the issue for me too is like with their blackouts and whiteouts specifically. Now, Colby, early on in the podcast life, do you remember when we were talking about the like accuracy, when the Pred accuracy was out and it came out the whiteout and the blackout?
Yes.
And then when the Crazy Fast came out they did the whiteout and blackout for that.
Right.
They re-released the whiteout and the blackout.
Right. Yep.
But they didn't change anything. Puma feels the need every time. Like the blackout Future came out, when the Future 8 dropped a couple months ago. Now there's another blackout Future 8 and it's different. And it's like, no, just add the blackout 6. Like that's the one they want to release is the blackout Ultra 6.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point, Justin.
Just do that. Yeah,
Matt's right. Adidas essentially does kind of what Matt's talking about, where it's like new boot comes out and then they kind of just restock. It's not like we're trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're not trying to like I don't know. We're not laying a trap for customers to come back. And like my brain does exactly what Matt does. I see a Puma post, I ignore it, and I don't know if it's because it's such a bad cycle for Puma, but I feel like all of these boots have been out forever. I don't know why. I feel like the King has literally been out forever, and I'm like, God, just change it already. But I think they have actually changed it more recently than I think. You know what I mean?
I honestly think it's been like 6 months.
Yeah.
But it feels like 6 years because of how many colorways we've gotten.
Right.
Exactly. It's like I feel like if we're on Bumble, this is the account like we've swiped left to, I think is how you do it. But like it just keeps coming back. It's like we swipe left, we see a couple more people, then it's like back. It's like, no, go away. And then we go
Stop
a couple
it.
more. No.
Yeah.
So
I think the problem with the brand new Ultra too is that like technically it came out like a month ago, maybe. Dude, it already feels in my head like it's a year old. Like I'm already tired of it.
I got like 5
where's the next one?
colorways.
Yeah,
This
it's wild.
See, this is one of those moments too where like I think back to like the Pred 24 and like how overkill we all thought it was, and Puma was like, "I'm gonna up one that like I'm gonna show you how it's really done." And now I'm like, man, compared to the Pred 24, that was nothing.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, Puma whiteout. Who cares? Okay, moving on. Matt, last week we talked about the new SKX Harry Kane boots. We saw the whiteout, and I compared them to the Parlay pack.
Yep.
From Adidas. Now today I saw that they released a blackout pack, and it still has the orange accents. And now with this specific colorway, I think of the initial blackout GX1 colorway.
Yes.
That was black with gray with a little bit of orange. So I'm like, damn. Skechers is still up to their old antics. Just copy and pasting, no changing, nothing. What do you guys... Colby, oh, that's great. Colby, you were not here last week. What are you thinking? You've seen 2 SKX, 2 colorways. What do you think about this Skechers boot?
See, Justin, Skechers does this thing where they add a little bit of orange, all right?
Yeah.
You know, so it's different.
But the GX1 had orange.
It is different, yeah. It did on the stud tips and the Nike logos.
Well, okay.
See?
Regardless of the colorway stealing, I am actually very excited for these SKX2s because our good friend Footloose Boots was telling me that this is the true successor to the Kayla V4. So I don't really care too much about like stealing colorways, like whatever. It kind of to me is in the same vein of when these like mainline packs come out for the players, and somehow like within Adi, Puma, and Nike, they're all wearing like a blue or they're all wearing a red or whatever. This is obviously more direct, colorway stealing than that. But dude, I could care less. I'm excited. Footloose sent me all these videos of how stiff the sole plate was, the AG, and everything. I got really excited, then I realized I can't get them anywhere other than Unisport or Pro Direct for right now. So they're not any American websites. So I'm gonna wait. Matt and I were talking about this off pod, but I think that Skechers also needs to realize that they're Skechers and these prices are just a little bit too high. So
are they though? I feel like they're trying to come across as like not a luxury brand, but like a competitive brand, and this is like a competitive price.
Yeah, I mean they're hitting like that Puma price point now, which is better. Yeah. But I think for people to like, it's still getting the people to buy in that like know Skechers for what Skechers really is. Which is like a cheap, crappy shoe brand from when you were a kid.
Yep.
Is getting those people to buy in, and I think around the 200 to like 175 price point would get those people to buy in. Not to say that these aren't good boots and don't deserve that, high end elite price point. I just think if they were being realistic, they really wanted to, make a competitive boot and steal some market share, it would honestly be hit that 200 price point. Kind of like the Scudetta. Like if it found its pricing kind of similar to what Sakito's doing, I think they would be significantly more sought after.
Yeah. Okay. Or even this is a couple years ago, but the 442 V2 came out and it was priced at maybe like 130. I think it was 130, and the premieres were like 110. And it's like, dude, if you're gonna get something in this area, you're gonna get a 442 because it is incredible. And I feel like that's where Skechers is if they just lower their price. It's like you can get something like an Icon 2, which is great, or I mean, not even the same thing because it's leather versus control, but like this boot is so much better than something like a Future 7, and its price point is much better. You get all those people to buy in.
Fair. No notes. I think you both kind of you kind of hit the nail on the head. I would love for them to be cheaper, but unfortunately, I just think that them as a brand, that's what they're trying to do.
Wait a few months.
Yeah,
they'll come down. But honestly, if you could have asked me like what could Skechers do to get me interested, SKX do. That has gotten me interested. Now I'm like, okay, all right,
okay, fair. I think
the AG plate helped.
Yes.
Oh no, I still like the FG. But I liked the GT, so
yeah,
I don't mind that. But while we're talking about brands that have been lightly borrowing, Matt, you just brought up the Skechers Scudetta, and we saw through Instagram, it was leaked through, I think, like Boots Club, but they had this like yellow to green colorway for Truce Ekyoung. I think that's how you say his name. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing that right. But straight up is like a Vapor 3 R9 colorway. Like yellow in the front, green in the heel. What are you guys feeling about that? Are you liking it? Are you disliking it? You know, we do give brands like Skechers a hard time for essentially, you know, copying and pasting. Do we give a brand like Sokito a little bit of a break, or do we kind of hold them to the same standard as the other ones?
I give them a break. It's been long enough. It's been long enough. And honestly, like when I see it, it makes me nostalgic. I know, like, because Nike wouldn't do it, but it makes me very nostalgic when I see a colorway like that.
Yeah, and I don't think they did this to try to copy. I think they did this as an homage in my head. At least that's the way I'm like picking up, because it is very like obvious.
Very
almost. It's like completely yellow and then literally fades to the green in the heel. So, but I feel like it is kind of an homage to like one of the, you know, most respected boots from like 20, like, you know what I mean, one of the earliest speed boots. Honestly, it looks fantastic.
Yeah,
they did a fantastic job. It's probably the best colorway of the Scudetta so far.
Wow, I still think I like the launch the most, as you know, like simple as they are.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's different, and I like that. I like different.
Yeah, I also usually do not like yellow boots, and these are fantastic.
I don't like yellow in general.
It's the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
It's that Brazil. It's the Jago Bonita, man. It's the Brazil vibes.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think they look fantastic, but I do kind of like give them the side eye, like I do with Skechers on a lot of things. Where I'm like, come on. Like, even like we talked about last week, Matt, that parlay Skechers SKX one. Like, when I held up the parlay boot, and then I even told you, I'm like, you just put 2 lines. You're like, oh shit, I didn't even notice that. I'm like, yeah. So it's kind of like, I gotta kind of like, I'm on to you, Sokito. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep doing it, then all right. Maybe chill, but I like this one. Yeah, I like this one.
They've had what, like 3 colorways, maybe?
Like 3 colors. Yeah. So let's give them a break here.
The next one's gonna be like this purple chameleon, like with a white sole play. They'll be like,
they do that.
We've never seen this before.
Yeah.
No, yeah, super cool looking colorway. I agree. I think that's a way to make a boot stand out. And like, you know, we talk about how hard it is to stand out with so many boots on the market and so many colorways. But I think like, good like banana yellow.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that often.
Yeah. And also every brand right now is releasing blackout boots. So they're just like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Release the brightest one of the summer.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. No, that's great. All right, Kobe. Now, before we started recording, you had a thought and you kind of wanted to present it. So what were you talking to us about?
Oh, yeah. So when I came down from the mountains of Montana and my signal came back on my phone, it seemed like a lot of people were very into the SKX2, which got me excited. And then I saw Noah's comparison of the X-Fly Pro 3 compared to the Tequila. And I was like, damn, dude, like this is a year where we might get several dark horses in the boot of the year space. And it makes me wonder if the big 3 are slowly like, if it's outbranching, because they've had such a large slice of the market share pie. And I feel like this is the part of the kind of boot story where everything outside of it seems to be kind of clawing its way in. And I love it. And I hope that we're getting more like New Balance talk, Skechers talk, Asics, whatever it may be, in the conversation. And it's no longer like, okay, what like Nike versus Adidas boot won this year. So I kind of wanted to get y'all's thoughts on that. Does it excite you that there's so much competition coming from like quote unquote like lower brands? You know, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Matt, you can go first.
Yeah, I love this. I want more competition. I want it to get even more competitive. Screw the big 3. I'll be honest. We can't let them get like complacent in their boots, and I feel like probably up until last year that has been the case, and I think now last year with Sakito and with Asics kind of updating their lines, and now New Balance kind of switching gears. Now Skechers in the market, it has become significantly more competitive, and I think the big brands are probably now going like, oh fuck, like these boots are actually good. People are actually starting to try them, especially now with Nike upping the price of the Phantom 6 to like $300.
Yeah,
like that is probably a lot of people is like, okay, like yes, that's a cool boot, it's got good reviews, but like $300,
right?
Like maybe I'll try something else. Especially, this is what I think the timing for the SKX 2 is what New Balance wishes their timing was for the Tequila.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because it comes right after the GX2, and people are absolutely like loving it, and I feel like people are almost forgetting about the Tequila already, which is wild because it's gotten amazing reviews so far.
Yeah.
But in my head, like that's almost the way I'm thinking, even though I know it's obviously still an option there.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, I agree. I think competition is healthy, like in general. I think it's like one of the best things that can happen for the brands. The question kind of that I think I want to pose back to you, Colby, and Matt also, is like, okay, let's go back to, let's say 2010, 2012 era, right? So we have like, what boots do we have? We had like the Vapor 8, the Legend 4, the Maestri 2, the Laser 4, just from Nike. We'll just use Nike, okay? So we kind of think of like, that's like this pinnacle era of boots, right? Or even to 2014. Now, at the time, I don't think really any one of us, and I was a big boot head at the time too, really knew what was going on in these other markets. Japan markets, the Asian markets, Australia, whatever. And I wonder too if, at the time, if you compare boots, if the big three being like the pinnacle of that time really would have been the pinnacle if we had access to those other boots like we do now.
Interesting.
Is that making sense?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I think some outside brands at the time, like Mizuno, were probably quality-wise better in that era, but the information and like the amount of time that it takes to get that information, whether it's through like social media, Instagram, YouTube, Unisport, like J Mike Josh, like telling, like I feel like it took me a while to get on the Mizuno bandwagon, and it was honestly like a time period of the the Neo 2s, where I think J Mike and Josh had talked about that so much. I was like, I gotta fucking try these. You know what I mean? And then you know what I mean? Like it was like this. I was like, I'd never even heard. I think Mizuno to me at that time was like maybe like a baseball brand or something. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I knew it as a volleyball brand.
Yeah, something. It's just something, outside of like my normal thinking. And so to your point, Justin, like I think that now that we have so much more information and we're so like inundated with everything, it's a lot easier to kind of accept outside things, and you kind of find your niche too. Like back in that era, it was like, dude, if you don't wear Nikes or Adidas, like what are you doing? Like maybe some Pumas. But it's like, what are you doing? What are those? So.
Yeah, that's just kind of something that I was thinking about, like as we were talking about it, because like again we're talking about like the Scudetta or whatever, all these stuff. But like if you think about like where we were, if we could take those kind of soft rules and bring them to now, like you're saying screw the big three, and I understand it, but it's like, would we feel like they're crushing it if we didn't know about brands like Asics that we get from Lockhart, Boot Blog, and Noah and stuff like that? Like I know our minds have been open to Mizuno for a long time, but I'm saying like, would it be such a forefront? New Balance is crushing it.
Yeah.
And Skechers is, but like again, a lot of people like Matt, I'm sure the X-Fly Pro 3 and the X-Fly 6 are going to be very high on your list. And it's like, well, would we really have known about those if like we had those rules?
I think of it as like an access perspective. So if you really think about it, like obviously big three probably had more funds, more money to kind of disperse their products. But if the products in other markets, let's just say Japan specifically, were so much better, I feel like they would have came over earlier, if that makes sense, because like we were like Nike, Adidas, Puma, all their products were probably being sold in Japan. They had Japan versions of their products with MG sole plates. You could look back and find them today still being sold in the resale market. I feel like we didn't even have access to like Japanese boots over here in the US, or even Europe until like J Mike started reviewing them with Unisport. I feel like that was the first time I've ever even heard of like a lot of these Japanese boots. So I really think, like, yes, quality wise, maybe they were on par, but I feel like as soon as the access became more available worldwide is when they really started putting the money into it, because they just knew the market was better. Like everyone says, like, yeah, everything's better in like in the United States, bigger, better, like not always better, but just like bigger market and everything. As soon as they probably got access to that, they're like, all right, R&D is going into this. We're really going to dive into like making this product specifically like better now than, because I feel like their goal, at least in other markets, I'm also talking out my ass, but this is what I'm thinking of. Their goal was to make something good and then spread it worldwide and then perfect it. I feel like that's always kind of the goal there. So I feel like Mizuno has done that very, very well, and I think Asics is getting there. Like they're starting to become what Mizuno was, you know, a few years ago, like getting their name out there internationally. So
it's one of those if you know things.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a sorry, just not to cut you off.
No,
That's
no,
a good point Matt made. And it goes against kind of, because Justin, you were saying like, oh, well, if we didn't know about these kind of like outside brands that are, you know, more relevant now than they were back in like the early 2010 era, we're also kind of comparing the big three brands to the big three brands from like previous years. Like we've almost entered this era of where we've time capsuled everything. And so you know, and I know that a Tiempo 10 is way shittier than like a Tiempo 6, 7, 8, 9, right?
Yeah.
And so you're almost comparing like what Nike's doing now to what Nike was doing 5 to 10 years ago. And that doesn't help its cause at all, because what Matt's saying is like, hey, we're trying to get this brand out and perfect it. We're trying to say like, hey, this is a good quality product and we're only going to make it better. Whereas Nike's like, you think we can get away with like, you know, thinning this sole plate out, and, you know, we'll save cost, dude. Let's get rid of this leather harvesting over in Australia, and we'll just tell them like, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's more sustainable. We're gonna make a better version of synthetic. Like whereas what Matt's saying, like Asics and Mizuno are like, dude, we're gonna perfect this. We're gonna like make 3 changes, and it's gonna be like even better, and then we're gonna redistribute. And so I think that's a part of it too. Like that's absolutely a part of why all these outside brands are kind of coming in as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think when it comes to the big three, they're kind of blinded by their own past success, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they're coming out, like, obviously we've complained about the colorways. We've complained about like all these different launches, how Puma does like 2 like iterations of essentially the same boot a year, and Adidas does the same thing with like a very small update every year. I think that is only hurting them in the long run, just because they're spending all this money for all these colorways to manufacture all these boots, and they're probably coming out with more than they end up selling, especially with more brands now coming into the market, taking the market share. They're not selling as many boots, but I think they're still producing the amount of boots they did when they were like significantly taking control of the market. So I think that is becoming a problem, and they're not realizing it fast enough, or they're trying to throw anything at the wall and hope it sticks kind of scenario, where this is why we're getting so many colorways, because they're like, you know, so one of these is going to resonate with someone, they're going to end up buying it, and they're going to stick with us, blah blah blah. But it's just like they're spending so much money just to do so. But that's because they have all this crazy money, because they're in so many different markets now, other than just, you know, soccer and boots and all that. So they have the access to do so. But I think if they just focused, they would still have the market share that they have.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly.
Well, I think too, like to your point also, is like do you remember like when COVID kind of happened and all these companies were like, we got to hire people, like everybody's remote, we got to hire 1,000 people. So they kind of built their numbers around that. And then once everything kind of started going back to normal, they're like, shit, now we got to lay off all these people. I feel like for example, a brand like Adidas saw especially the initial success of like how well the 24 FT sold, and like they couldn't keep up with the demand of it. So now with the 25, they're like, hey, we're ahead of it. We've produced extra, like we won't run out this time. And I think that like the 25 has lost a little bit of steam. The nostalgia of having the tongue is kind of gone. So now you're starting to find 25s like on sale, a lot of sizes everywhere. So I think the brands kind of like they had this like this perfect storm set of numbers, but they took that as like, this is our new baseline.
Yeah.
To go along with what Matt's saying. So now that everybody's overproducing, that's why you see like that pink F50, Matt, that you had. I don't remember what that pack was called. The Horizon one.
Yeah, Vivid Horizon.
Vivid Horizon.
Yes, Vivid Horizon. You see that pink F50 everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. I get you guys crush it, but Colby, I agree. I think that we're going to have a lot of dark horses this year. I don't think it's going to be my boot of the year. I'm pretty sure I already know what my boot of the year is going to be, but I think there's going to be some good dark horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry. One more thing. Because Matt mentioned it, and we didn't really get to extrapolate on it, but I think he's right. I think that Tequila, unfortunately, even though it is good, even though it's, I think, still my boot of the year, because it didn't come out 6 months earlier, now it's not only competing with Phantom 6, which has like the Nike, everybody knows, brand behind it, but also like the hype of the SKX 2, and it'll be like SKX 2 is actually kind of a future successor of the V4, and I hope it doesn't get cannibalized because of that, but I feel like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The great thing is you'll be able to get either one of those pairs of boots in like a month for like half off.
Hell yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
what it's all about.
Yep.
Patience could be key. Sometimes that's why the smaller, like the really success, but like the niche brands, you just gotta wait a little bit, and you will get them on sale.
Yep. Colby, did you see your white ones? Your white tequilas are now on sale in HG.
HG?
Yeah.
No, but I may have to. I need to pick up a pair. I need to pick up a retail pair.
You need to get a retail pair for sure.
Everybody's seems softer than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yours are crazy broken in now.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of white boots, I don't think you guys talked on the last podcast about the Precisions. The white
No, we
Precisions.
did not. You're right.
Yes. The David Beckham Grease-esque looking ones. But instead of like the red tongue, it's a white tongue, I think. White and silver.
Yeah.
It's basically this boot, but like a fucking red Precision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's gorgeous.
I
gorgeous.
love it. I'd wear the hell out of it.
Will not buy it. I won't buy it. It's too
I will
bulky.
say the heel looks not like a largemouth bass, so that's good. That's a check.
Yeah.
For a remake.
I will say, as somebody who has both the 0.1 and Plus model of the Precision remakes, I think I'd still probably pick one of those just because I like those sole plate, the Freak split sole plate better than the current
the control frame
2.0. Yeah.
I will say, I think the control frame works the best on this in comparison to all the other remakes it's on. Like all the Media remakes. I think it looks significantly better on this boot.
That's a take.
I agree with Matt. But I like the control. I like the control frame 2.0. I'm just that guy.
Yeah, because it kind of reminds me of the first Precision remakes, the like grayish blue ones that came out.
With the Ace sole plate?
Yeah, with the Ace plate.
No, I think my favorite one is still the original David Beckham ones that came out with the gold Zidane accelerators. And I think that one has the 18 Predator 18, Predator 19 sole plate.
Yes.
Those were good ones too.
Yeah.
Yep. One more thing before we get out of here, guys.
Jesus, bro. I'm trying. No, I'm just kidding. What's up?
No, dude, I love it.
Ronaldinho's back. He's back, guys.
He never left,
back.
Colby. He can't be back if he never left.
Dude, these flats, I'm pumped.
This
is a must buy.
Are you gonna actually buy these?
I will actually buy these. This represents literally everything I love of like that era, that 2005 freaking YouTube video.
Yeah.
That's I mean, it was fake, but
still
love these boots.
Would you wear these like on a day to day?
Yes.
Would you wear them to work?
I wouldn't wear them to work. My work's disgusting.
Oh man, come on.
No, my work's too gross. But yeah, I would wear these. I would rock these everywhere.
Can you imagine that? Walk into a hospital with those on? Some guy be like,
Hell no.
hey, yo, what
Hell
the hell
no.
are those?
Hell
Be like,
no,
yo,
dude.
let me ball out.
I would get so much nasty stuff on there. Heck no. But I'm very excited for these. Dude, I hope
they're sick.
I hope it's not a T90 situation where I have to get them on like some fucking Nike sneakers app
okay,
and
okay,
sold out instantly.
Time out. Because this is like a legitimate thought that I have, and I need to ask you this. So these are based, I think, on like the Legend 5 Ronaldinho's, right? Around that time.
Remake.
Okay. Now, from the pictures I have seen, this looks like it could be Fly Touch Plus.
It does look
with some stitching, like the Tiempo Lux was. If this is Fly Touch Plus and not leather, is it still a cop?
Yeah, dude, it's a fucking street shoe. Who cares, man? I'm not playing with these
You're
on pitch.
weird.
I care, bro.
You're
I'm not
weird
wearing...
about stuff like that. You're
Nah,
like, oh,
dude.
bro, it's too
I'm
narrow.
not, if I'm not playing in
resold
these,
them.
if I'm just wearing these casually, I don't care. I don't care because
Yeah?
I'm not fucking touching the like. It's performance based at that point. Because I think leather is a better touch.
These are definitely Fly Touch Plus.
If I'm playing,
I definitely think they're Fly Touch
but
Plus.
who cares? Who cares if I'm just
wearing
them at the grocery store?
They are still sick. I'll give you that.
Juggling
Here's my
like an
take.
apple. What's up?
Here's
Tell
my
me your
take.
take.
Here's my take on these. I think these. I think at Nike headquarters, there's 2 buttons, and they're covered with glass, and it says break if there's an emergency. And I think it's for these, and for the Hypervenom Phantom 1 remakes. And I think Nike has gotten to the point where they had to break both of these glasses.
Yes,
in case of
100%.
emergency. Yeah, I think it's always like they always have like a Ronaldinho remake boot on deck ready to go just in case, and some type of Hypervenom or Ronaldo remake.
Dude, he's right. What if they have a T90 Laser 4 break glass in case of emergency?
Dude,
Yeah, they probably just have them lined up like
that.
all the
They
past
would
boots.
never.
Like, fuck it.
They're gonna
fuck
get
it.
you just like
never.
they got us.
They won't.
Matt's got the HV
won't.
ones.
They
I'm gonna
won't
get these
do this.
Ronaldinhos.
They
Laser
won't do it.
4s
I
are
already
coming
know.
back. They're coming back, bro.
The Laser 4 is too good. They can't bring it back. Because then somebody would grab like grip and be like, "What the shit is this? I don't want this shit."
Dude, what if it's the Clashback Laser 4?
I would buy
that's
the
the one?
entire stock.
Let's go.
There you go.
You
That's
got
all
him,
it
Nike.
takes.
Come on.
I'd be like some of these resellers. I'd be like with my Tesla bot, like going off like crazy. All right, Colby. Final question: if you could only wear one for the rest of your life, would you go with the streetwear Ronaldinho's, or would you go with the precisions that are coming out?
But they're
It doesn't matter. You can only wear one.
Ronaldinho's.
Yeah, because
Stupid.
they're just more. You could use them for walking around and stuff and playing
Right.
soccer. That's.
But he said
Such
he
an
won't ball
easy
out
take.
with them. He said
I mean,
he
if that
can't-
was his only option, I'm sure he
can't
would.
kick ball. He can't kick ball.
Ronaldinho's. Final
Oh.
answer.
I think it's still the Ronaldinho.
Smelly.
Yeah, for sure.
Smelly answers. Colby, while I'm filled with disappointment with you, tell the people where they can also be disappointed.
You guys can find me at Kicking with Kolbs on Instagram and on YouTube, and also sometimes in the mountains of Montana.
Matt, if people want to see your nice championship medal, where can they find it?
They can find it at Burns Boots on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
And if you want to see my beautiful face, you can find me at Texas Cleat Collector on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can find us at Bootcast Pod, and go down in the comments. Let us know, which boot would you bring back in case of an emergency? Which glass are you busting? Let us know. And while you're down there, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on the notifications. I don't know what else to say. I don't watch enough YouTubers anymore. And until next week, we'll see you then, guys. Peace.